Daryl D is back in the building with more Richard Corben. This is actually my Richard Corben comic collection number 22, if I'm not mistaken. Another all magazine edition, since I've got just about every comic book that I can think of. Those in comic book form anyway. But I got some magazines I want to show you. This episode, I should say, is bittersweet, and I'll get into that. I picked up some books from a few different shops. I'm not exactly sure where I got everything, but I'll try to remember as best as possible, and we'll just go from there. Okay. Sorry, let's get started. I picked up, this one I definitely picked up from Champion Comics right here in the Valley. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Make sure you go check out my Champion Comics videos. There's at least 3 of them, I think. Champion has the biggest selection of comic magazines you've ever seen. Just go take a gander at those videos. You'll see what I'm talking about. But anyway, I picked up a cool heavy metal. This is from April of 1980. And check out that cover. You know what I mean? The story inside this one is called The Beast of Wolfton, which is new for me. Actually, let's take a look at that. Let me see if I can even show this on YouTube. Is anybody familiar with that actual story? The Beast of Wolfton. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, what was that? Ooh. Well, I think Corben did a heavy metal advertisement in here as well. Alright, here we go. The Beast of Wolfton. Alright. Looks like some old school medieval type flavor right there. Check that out. Something I can definitely get down with. But man, look at that cover. Look at that cover. And I got a really good price on it. I'm not a stickler for condition, you guys know that. But I don't know if you can see this, but it kind of, here we go. See how that kind of's got like a little curve, little bend there, or whatever. I don't care. Other than that, it's in mint condition. What do I care if it's got a little bend there? I picked up like quite a few that have these things on them. I think I paid $5 a piece for most of them. So really happy about getting such a good price on it. Most of the heavy metal books that I find nowadays, not all, but most of them are like not a whole lot of money, you know. I guess there's got to be something special about it. I know recently, actually a few days ago, I was in Champion and I found, I can't remember the date on there, but it was the one with the famous cover that they use for the actual heavy metal movie. I think it's a chick on some big winged dragon or something. She's flying on there. It's the one, probably the most recognizable heavy metal cover ever. Like, I found the guy had a stack of those in there, but that one goes for like hundreds of bucks. So unfortunately I had to leave that one there. Anyway, man, the selection of books that Phil has over there is bananas. You need any kind of comic magazine, Phil over at Champion Comics. Anyway, I could talk about that guy all day. So I picked this up, actually, was it a week ago? Or what? Yeah, I picked this up a week ago. So I found out, and this was you know, all this time, like the last few years I've been looking for these heavy metals, and Some I found and they have issue numbers. And then after a while, there was no more issue numbers and it was just dates, like a month and a year or whatever. And then I just realized that for every year, basically, I mean, some of you guys are going to go, duh, but every year they kind of start over. So you have a January of 79, February of 79, March of 79, and then the next year starts over January of 80, February of 80, March of 80. And so I was finding these dates or dates of the books that I needed, but never realized that those are different from each year. So I literally just days ago found out about that. So it just kind of threw a monkey wrench in what I'm looking for and what I already have. So I have to go back and like start from the beginning, put all of my heavy metals together by date, and then see what I don't have, and then whatever I don't have, cross-reference those to just the ones that feature Richard Corben, and then start there. So I'm sure at this point, I don't know if I know I have a lot of them, but I don't know, just how many I have featuring Corben. I don't know if I'm at the halfway mark, a little further, a little less. Do I have most of them? At this point, I have no idea. So after I made my last big purchase, which was this past Sunday, at Champion, picking up a lot of heavy metal books, I decided to just pull all of my heavy metals out and just start kind of going through them and seeing. There were a few that I did need to check to see if I had bought them before, because there was definitely like two that I was getting ready to buy, and I was like, man, I think I have these already. I wasn't one. I was like, I had a good feeling I had it already, and then one I just didn't know at all. So I had to check those. So I was going through stuff. While I was going through to see if I had them, I actually realized that there was an epic December of '82 that I was looking for, and I almost bought that one twice at Champion, but didn't because I wasn't exactly. All he had was like mint condition copies, and I didn't want to pay more just because it was mint. He didn't have any that were less than mint, pretty much. So I'm going through my comic magazines, and lo and behold, I had it already. But I came this close to buying it the last couple weeks. I'm glad I didn't. So as I'm looking through that stuff, well, guess what I found? I found another copy of this book right there. Now, I hate doing this. I mean, it's bad enough with comic books, but for some reason I have a deep hatred when I buy two magazines and I don't know, or I don't realize that one of them I have already. I can't stand when that happens. And a lot of times I can't stand it because sometimes these books I pay, a little more, than I like to pay. And then you run into those situations where, or I do anyway, where I might pay, $10 or $15, maybe $20 or more for a book. And I'm going to show you one I paid up for. And then right after you buy it, you realize, oh, I could have got that cheaper somewhere. Because I shop in all of the comic shops. I'm looking for all of this stuff. But anyway, yeah, bought this again. And I was telling Phil, about the same thing I'm saying to you. And he was like, yeah, if you ever buy something you realize you have it already, just bring it back. And so I don't know if I'll do that or not, or if I'll just pass this extra one along. But yes, I actually have two of those, and I'm not real happy about it. Here's one. I'm pretty sure you've seen this one before. This is Erie number 86. And I'm pretty sure I showed you this one. This is an all Corben special, so the entire book is dedicated to Corben. Um, I don't know. This was another one of those books. I mean, all Corben, that's incredible for an entire book. But once again, man, I'm going through my stuff and I find out that I had another one. And this just drives me absolutely crazy. Luckily, I don't think I paid a lot for this one. This one was probably definitely, I don't know, I don't recall, $5 to $10 book. I think I got this one a while back, and I think I got this one within the last couple of months, or I might have been sitting on. Actually, I had this one first, and then I picked this one up. So, yeah, one of those things again. I hate I hate doing that. So, on that same, let's go to March of 1979, another heavy metal. This was another one that I picked up from Champion, and he must have just unearthed, pulled out some boxes and pulled out some more books, and so he had a nice little stack in there that I hadn't seen, and he's already got like boxes of boxes all in chronological order. And then there was this one section where there was just like a stack of like maybe these many books that I hadn't seen before. So I'm assuming he had just recently pulled them out. Anyway, this particular book has one of the Sinbad and Atlanta Gin stories, which I'm really excited about. I haven't like come across those for a long time. And heavy metal is mostly you're gonna see Den 2, and then occasionally you'll see some other titles here and there. The Sinbad stories do appear on a regular basis, so I think I have maybe a handful of those. But yeah, another $5 book. You know what I mean? Once again, I'm going through the collection yesterday. Guess what I found? Opps. I did it again. How do you like that, man? So, I thought I was done with this, but to be perfectly honest, I have a list that I keep with me, but it's not a thorough list. And so when I sit down next and just take a little bit of time to go through what I need, I'm going to make that list more thorough, because this just cannot keep happening. Let's take a look at this Sinbad story. I'll open this one, since this is the one I'm gonna sell or give away or something, I don't know, but only because I forgot what this Sinbad story actually looks like. Oh, here we go, man. Exactly what you would think if you know anything about Sinbad or the Sinbad story. Lots of jewels and gold and treasure and all of that kind of stuff. Well, yeah, there you have. With that, does anybody know if the Sinbad stories appear in their entirety in another book? Because I have to admit, like, some of these books contain Murky World, and as I mentioned in a past video, I did pick up that new release that Dark Horse put out. Just finished reading it like maybe 2 weeks ago. Enjoyed it thoroughly, and it was cool to just read it all, in one place, opposed to magazine. There's only like 3-4, pages of the story in each of these books. So I don't really need them if there's something else out there that I could get. But, you still got the whole rest of the issue that's super duper enjoyable. So, bought another one, and if that wasn't bad enough, will you look at this? Look at this. Look at this. So I had bought two and didn't even know it, and then turned around and I picked up a third one. Does it get any more pathetic than this? This is crazy. This is absolutely nuts. I mean, it didn't break the bank or anything, but still, I could have easily used this money to get a Corben book I didn't already have. Pathetic. Now, here's one of those books that when I saw it, I was like, I gotta have it. I gotta have this book. Look at this classic creepy cover, Jaws of Death. Cool Corben cover on there. I'm not exactly sure if Corben appears on the inside, but oh, let's just take a look and see. Ooh, he does. I saw it right away. What is this story called? Dear Uncle Creepy. Black and white story. Man, look at this. So check this out. Look at the details and the faces of these guys on here. This is what it's that kind of beautiful detail that I love. This is called In Deep. What did I just say it was? Dear Uncle Creepy? No, this is In Deep. Some kind of ocean, horrible shipwreck type ocean story. It says that there's In Deep 2 in here. Let's see if that 2 is a Corben story. There is an In Deep Part 2. It does not feature Corben art. That's somebody else. See if Corben appears anywhere else in here. Nope, I think that's about it. Okay, so Creepy Jaws of Death, issue number 101. I remember when I saw this book, I forgot what store it was. It Dreadnought or was it? Did I get that online? I cannot remember exactly, but when I saw it, I was like, I gotta have it. I was searching, and I think I found it. I think I found it online, but I can't remember if it was online or if it was from a store. At any rate, it was probably from both of those places, because look at this, I got two. I was real pissed off when I realized this, because I went on a mission to find this book, and then I do all of that, find the book, and realize I have it already. This is what happens when you don't read your comics right away. You don't get familiar with them, or you don't have a list, or a proper list, let me put it that way. So when I say I can't remember if I bought it in a store or if I got it online, I probably bought one of these in a store and got the other one online. I do believe one of these came from Champion, and I think the other one came offline. Man, I definitely paid a little bit more. I want to say 15 bucks. I paid for at least one of these, and then I found it somewhere else. Let me show you one more heavy metal book. This is $2.94. This is a later one. I am pretty positive these later ones featuring Corben had Murky World in them. This is from 2019, number 294, the Industrial Special. Murky World Special. So I was going through there, and does anybody, I discovered something I've never seen before, and somebody told me about this. Actually, I was talking to Phil over at Champion. I asked him about this, and he said, yeah, this stuff started happening later into the 2000s. But as I was going through some things the other day, I realized that I had 2094, but with a different cover. Now, I have never heard of a comic magazine having a variant cover. And those of you who are obviously more in the loop than I am will say, well, yeah, duh, they've been doing that for however long. I didn't know about it. So this was a surprise when I was going through my collection the other day and I found I had two. So I kind of think I'm going to keep both of these since I have them already. I wouldn't go out and you know, buy a variant cover, of a magazine. These variant covers, they're going crazy with that stuff, and it's like, yeah, enough is enough. But I ain't gonna lie, I have fallen victim to that, mostly because I'll buy a book and then a variant cover will come out, and the variant cover looks 10 times better than, or it's the variant cover I buy first, not knowing it's a variant, and the original cover is a lot better. So I think I'm going to keep both of these. The problem is, oops, another one, another another one where I bought three of the same one. Now this could be considered an honest mistake, I guess. If I was on top of things in my list and this, that, and the other, it wouldn't be. Because I guarantee you I wouldn't have looked at issue 294 and thought, oh, I think I have this, but it has a different cover. I would have never done that in 100 years. This, what can I say? 3 issues of 2094. This one definitely has to go. So, yeah, these are some more mistakes that I made. So that's what I meant when I said it's kind of bittersweet. I'm happy to have these, and I'm definitely happy to share them with you, but not happy that I bought all of these books at least twice. Somebody help me. Tell me how to do it correctly. What am I missing, huh? I think I'm just being lazy or something. But I'm about to pull back from buying heavy metal unless I find them somewhere for $1 or something. But I'm going to pull back until I get my list correct and accurate so that in the future I'm not making this same mistake that I'm making right now. Thank you guys for hanging out. Until next time, you guys be safe. This is Daryl D signing off.